everybody. What a joy to be together. Live from Hoff Theater in College Park.
What the world needs now.
Live from Hoff Theater in College Park. We thought we'd bring you a little Broadway. Enjoy. Let us know where you're coming in from. And you graduated from Maryland. Or your connection to Maryland. Something that you love.
No, not
Put it in the
just
chat
for
box.
some, but for everyone.
Feel free to grab a hairbrush and start singing along.
Don't need another mountain. There are mountains and hillsides enough to climb. There are oceans and rivers enough to cross, enough to last
Till the end of time.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing.
Maybe you recognize some of these people.
Too little love.
What the world
Needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone.
Lord, we don't need another
Beach,
meadow.
California, Laura, we're coming to
There
our house.
are cornfields and wheat fields enough to grow.
There are sunbeams and moonbeams enough to shine.
Oh, listen, Lord,
If you wanna know,
if you wanna know.
Angela and Ron, you look like y'all are having a party.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love.
it's the only thing that
Lord,
there's
I-
just too little of.
Rockville.
Needs now is love, sweet love.
No, not just for some.
But for
Ron and Angela from Silver Spring.
everyone.
1970, wow. You're a loyal Terp, Laura.
What the
You could even put what y'all love about Maryland.
is love, sweet love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. What the world
Yeah,
needs
that's
now is love, sweet love.
How about the education? Oh, who remembers that? All right, round of applause for our Broadway live from Hoff Theater. Welcome, welcome, everybody.
Everyone, we always like to start off with something a little bit of fun. So inhale some love and exhale some gratitude.
Yeah, everybody
Put
take
some
a nice
smiles
deep
on your
breath.
face. We know it's probably been a long day and just we're here to have fun tonight. So this is just a good relaxing evening. So next one, baby.
And super grateful that you're here with us.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Oh, hi. Just wanting to say your favorite human on earth.
You're my favorite human
Okay, I'm
on
not used to
earth.
reading upside down.
Oh, I should have done that one.
Love is in the air. Wrong. Nitrogen, oxygen. I can't see the rest because of the chat box. But anyway, you can see it. Dioxide are in the air. And this is our Valentine's Day event here. So this is partly about relationships and some love.
Okay. Turning it back to you.
So Lena.
Hello, everyone. Welcome, Terps, to Terrapin Love Week. My name is Lena Donaldson. I am the Assistant Director of Events and Programs with the University of Maryland's Alumni Association. I would like to start with a few housekeeping tips. We would love if you turn on your cameras, but remain on mute unless called upon by our moderators. This will ensure that everyone can hear the lessons being shared. Next, this session will be recorded and will be placed on our YouTube channel next week. So keep that in mind when sharing sensitive information. The last and final housekeeping item, please be mindful and respectful of your fellow Terps. We want everyone to feel comfortable this evening. Tonight, you will hear from fellow Terps and the founders of Virtues Matter for Share the Love. Learn about how the love of virtues everywhere can empower you to appreciate others and develop healthy relationships in your family, workplace, community, and even with yourself. Love reminds us to create a mindset and culture of gratitude, kindness, resilience, unity, and respect. So once again, I will turn it over to Dara and Dave Feldman, proud members of the class of 1984.
Woo, woo, woo! Thank you for your enthusiastic and warm welcome. Maybe before I turn the talking piece over to you, I just want to say, some of you might be thinking, well, what do we know about relationships? We know just a little bit because we've been together for a little bit of time and we're still on this learning journey together. So we're going to share some stories with you. We're going to share some practices and give you some tools. And before I forget, I'm going to drop in the chat box a Padlet. And so it's just a link to this presentation and some additional resources that you might find helpful. All right, baby, I love you. And you ready?
So we don't want to make this about us, but we figured a little bit of context and a little bit of history might be good. So that guy in the front and the funny skinny legs, those socks, you might remember
and
those.
all that hair, honey.
That's uncalled for. That's me. And then Dara is in the back. And we were going through a yearbook one day after we were married. And we said, oh my God, look at this. We're both at the same dance marathon together. And if you notice, I'm actually looking her way. And I'm thinking, this is the woman I'm going to marry one day. So we had a history that started long before we met many years later. So although we both graduated in '84, we knew each other back in college a little bit. And I'll even share. Can I share the story?
You share it your way. And then we're gonna show what not to do first. And then we'll share with you what to do. Okay? Go ahead, honey.
Yeah.
I want to hear your side.
I don't really. Okay.
No, go for it.
So I actually was dating her roommate back in a sorority at one time. And she was, thank you, Ron. I see you back there.
Hey, my boyfriend was in Theta Chi. Who cared? I was not looking.
All right, here's love. So, and she wasn't allowed to talk to me apparently. So
my roommate got jealous.
So a number of years later, we were at the gym. I was at the gym and I saw this woman who I recognized. I said, I know this person. So I went up to her. By the way, her name is Dara. And I said, hello, I knew you. You're Nancy, aren't you? That's our first encounter after all that. And she says, no, I know you. And we started talking. She told me her entire life story in the first 5 minutes.
Not an exciting life, 5 minutes, right?
10 minutes. I thought, this woman is crazy. And she said,
I knew I was going to marry this man. Now I'm going to give you one of the secrets. Seriously, in 10 minutes. And I had this little whispering in my ear, and it was basically, I give you this man, honestly, on a silver platter, as long as you are who you are. So lesson number 1 is, for a healthy relationship with yourself and anybody else, just be you, right? Why do you want to try to be somebody that you're not and attract somebody that you don't really want to be with, whether it's work, friendship, personal relationship, etc. So poor Dave doesn't know the rear end kissing wife that I was in my first marriage. Sorry, honey. So
the long story short and the short story long is that after our first date, I fell in love and I knew I was going to marry her at the same time. So that moved along very quickly. So a little bit about who we are, just briefly. We are an organization called Virtues Matter. Dara has been doing this work since 2005 through some work that she was doing. She was Disney Teacher of the Year. She's a teacher, and she mentioned that. She found the Virtues Project, fell in love with the work, started doing this work. I joined her full-time in 2019, and we are working on this project. So I like to think that I had the little angel wings when I first started, but my wings are growing as I've been doing this. It's going on 3 years right now. And you learn a lot about virtues being married to your business partner and going through a pandemic together.
Pandemic in a startup, nonprofit. Okay, just saying, right? And here's the thing that he didn't tell you, and this is why his wings used to be little. I found out about this work 2005 through the Family Virtues Guide, right? And Oprah said in the Family Virtues Guide that it's the instruction manual that our kids didn't come with. If you all have kids or you were kids, did you come with instructions, and did they? No, right? So I read the book, totally changed my life as an educator, as a parent. I gave the book to Dave to read so that we could get on the same page as parents. He married me and 2 kids. What a generous soul, right? That book stayed there on the bedside for years and years and years. And we got into it. Our kids are 31 and 28. And he started reading it 3 years ago.
No.
Okay, but you really did.
I did. I dug in a lot. I dug in a lot deeper 3 years ago. That is fair.
So it's never too late. And
Right.
the bottom line is what we're going to share with you is strategies that not only have changed our individual lives, but it has really strengthened our relationship. And we've been together since February 1st, 1999 was our first date, and that was 25 years ago. So we're excited to be with you. We've already gone over the boundaries. We'll skip that. So we just want to do a check-in. So please, in the chat box, pretend these are terrapins. On a scale of 1 to 9 terrapin, and 10 is other, how are you feeling right now, tonight? And maybe even the reason why. I'm feeling a 9 because I get to do my favorite thing with my favorite person.
And I even put in a little 9
Oh,
in there
look
too.
at that. And we didn't even rehearse that. So we got some 8s go. Oh man, Andrew, do you want to say a little bit more? You can put in the chat box. We're going to go in a breakout room so that you all can connect with each other. Anybody want to unmute and share very briefly the reason they're feeling the way they are? You don't have to. You can always pass. We invite you to do stuff. Had a bad day. We're sending love, and hopefully this will turn it around. We're really grateful that y'all came. And so how does this have to do with relationships? What we need to do is we need to be self-aware in order to self-manage. And so if we're tired, we're frustrated, we're angry, or we're upset, we need to be able to check in with our feelings and then be able to say what we need or to be able to respond instead of reacting.
And then also sometimes it's helpful to share with somebody else how you're feeling too. So sometimes allowing yourself to be open to getting help or having a conversation with somebody who might be able to cheer you up.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Laura, on your retirement. So let's just take a breath. I'm going to invite everybody to just 3 nice deep breaths. But as you're breathing in, breathe in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. But imagine that it's coming in and out of your heart. So nice deep breath in, breathing in love, and exhaling gratitude. Breathing in love, imagine it through your heart, and exhaling gratitude. And one more nice deep breath in through your heart, and exhale gratitude. And when you're ready, you can just roll your shoulders or your arms. You can give a little stretch. You can give yourself a great big hug. And hopefully you're feeling just a little bit better. All right, turning the talking piece back to you, baby.
All right. So we mentioned that there are 5, we mentioned that the Virtues Project is some of the work that we've been working on. And there are 5 strategies of the Virtues Project. And we're going to jump in and share a little bit about each one of those, but just want to kind of give a quick little bit about speaking the language of virtues, the power of acknowledgement for uplifting somebody for the good that you see in them. So thank you for your commitment to coming here this evening when you probably had a full day. We already saw the chat, a couple of you already did. So acknowledging somebody for a virtue and then giving some evidence. Do you want to do the next one, baby?
Sure, recognize teachable moments. So instead of shaming and blaming, it's reframing and naming. So any of you all live with anybody that's stubborn? All right, so, okay, no pointing fingers though, right? Remember, this is gonna be televised live on YouTube. So I want you to think of that stubborn person, and I want you to say at the top of your lungs, muted, "You're so stubborn" 3 times, and notice how you feel. Ready? 1, 2, 3. You're so stubborn. You're so stubborn. You're so stubborn. Notice how you feel, where you feel it. Put in the chat box. Anybody feel like their shoulders are tight? Right? Maybe get a little bit of headache. Now we're going to reframe and rename that stubbornness to the virtue of determination. And I want you to think of that same stubborn person, but this time we're going to say, "You're so determined" 3 times, and notice where you feel it. All right, ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. You're so determined. You're so determined. You're so determined. Where do you all feel that? You can even unmute and say if you want. How many of you all feel it in your heart? Right? Feel a little bit more relaxed. So we're giving you a high level of this, right? So this is just reframing and renaming teachable moments. The next one, I'll do that. Okay, setting clear boundaries based on restorative justice. How many of you all have a really strong backbone? Or maybe you have a really big and generous heart, and it's hard for you to set boundaries. Boundaries, there's a video, quick video from Brene Brown where she talks about setting boundaries is the most compassionate thing that you can do. So we need to communicate clear boundaries, boundaries with ourselves and boundaries with others. And when there's been a mistaken behavior in terms of restorative practices or restorative justice, it's being able to have a conversation about what happened, what virtue was missing, what the harm that was done, and how we can make things right. So it's helping people understand that they've made a mistake, not that they are a mistake, and to bring people back into community and relationship. Does that make sense, everybody? We're going to get up and move around in a little bit, but feel free if you have questions, unmute, put in the chat box.
So the 4th strategy is called honoring the spirit. And that's about what brings you joy, meaning, and purpose. And as you know, in a relationship, you have yourself as that in that relationship, and you have your other partner as well. So what kind of things can you do, whether it's celebration, rituals, arts, different activities? What brings you joy in the work that you do and in the activities that you're doing on your own? And the 5th one is an interesting one. It's a 7-step approach of asking questions and listening intently to help somebody else find their own solution.
And honey, do tell them how this has saved our marriage. Our marriage wasn't in trouble, but gentlemen, please turn the volume up on your hearing aids or on your ears. Just kidding. Okay, how did the companioning process help? What did you learn most?
To be quiet.
Yeah. So have you ever had a bad day?
A good. I see Ron.
Yes.
It's a guy thing, and we'll show you something else a little bit later. But I have learned the power of. I'm seeing. I don't know who Catherine Bell, but there's another gentleman in there. There's a couple.
Yeah,
too.
we're seeing some nodding, and Andrew's laughing. Good. Dopamine is helpful. So
yes.
Please don't give unsolicited advice, because you're gonna get it. Maybe after the breakout room, we'll add a video. We're gonna have to show them the now.
Yes.
Okay, so those are the 5 strategies. So we're actually gonna share with you, we're gonna move in a minute, so thank you for your patience. This is basically the essentials of relationship. How many of you all are stressed out lately? Compassion fatigue is on high, right? Like we got stuff going on. And when we are stressed out, we are not able to think. So we react instead of responding. So what we want to do is we want to start when somebody comes home or you start your day, do it in a fun way with a smile or a prayer or a song or just, "Hi, honey, how was your day?" Not, "Did you remember to pick up the chicken dinner?" Because that's not going to be good for a relationship. That's not a dopamine enhancer. That's a dopamine killer. So everybody just smile for a minute. I like smile. Okay, what does breath do, baby?
Breath is the serotonin. So I think one of the interesting things that I've started to learn about is that how you act. There's actually a science behind it. So sometimes this feels like it's touchy-feely, but actually breathing actually induces calm because it increases your serotonin. And there's science behind that. There's all sorts of research that says breathing deep gives you a higher increase of serotonin, which in your brain helps you actually be more happy and successful.
Yeah, and you get your oxygen to the brain so that you can think, right? Becky, we'll miss you and we'll wave to you in the video. Thank you for your thoughtfulness, letting us know I'm coming. And then the next one we're going to do really shortly is about connection and oxytocin, not Oxycontin. All right, just don't want you to be confused, but in all seriousness, it's how we feel when we hug somebody, or even if it's a pet, even if ourselves, right? It's about the relationship building neurotransmitter. And then the last part is
increasing your endorphins through movement. And with that, we're going to move a little bit.
We're going to come back to the love card. Okay, so we're going to do something called the Follow the Leader dance party. And you want to explain, honey, how we're going to do this?
Yeah, so we're going to play a
I'm
song.
going to stop sharing.
How about it one more time for the mic?
Go ahead.
Yeah, let's see. So we're going to play a song. So if you would like to turn your cameras on, please do. And for those of you who have your camera on, thank you. And we're going to do a little dancing here.
We're going to give you an out. So we're going to pin you. And when you're pinned, right, on the teleprompter, you do a move and everybody else is going to do what you're doing. And then we'll stop pinning, we'll pin somebody else. Wait.
I see you, Catherine.
Lisa, stay on camera. Y'all stick around because watch. If you want to pass, here's your move. You go like this. You just go like this. And then we'll take you off the spotlight.
You don't have to do anything you don't want to do.
There's a method to our madness, and it's not just to make you mad. All right? So here we go, everybody. I'm going to put the music on.
How about it one more time?
Can you hear it?
And I will go first. I'm not going to stand up.
All right,
so.
go ahead and start dancing.
All right, so come on. Everybody, come on.
All right, Ron and Angie, you're up. Do something different.
All right.
All right, here we go. Lena, we're coming. Oh, there you go. We're coming to you now. Woo! All right, do it, Lena, do it. Laura, you're up next. Here we go. Loving it. All right, Charles, here you go.
All right, Charles.
Charles got it going on. All right, Catherine and Fred, you all are next. Keep it going, keep it going. Oh, everybody else is, all right, just freestyle for a minute.
Nice. Oh, got the Pulp Fiction dance.
All right, thank you everybody for your enthusiastic participation. So we got that. What was our purpose for doing that in addition to
Endorphins.
embarrassing you? No, just kidding. In addition to the endorphins, it was actually to get you to think about your virtues. Every moment is a virtues moment, and the more mindful we are of them, the more easily we can call on them. So we saw your joyfulness smiling while you were dancing.
And we definitely saw some courage out there because we saw some expressions like, you're going to make us do what? And you did it.
And you did it anyways. And for those of you who were assertive and you turned off your cameras, you were showing virtue as well, right? Because you took care of yourself by passing. Every moment is a virtues moment. The more mindful we are of them, the more easily we can access them. And so I'm going to go back here for a moment. What other virtues did you all see or did you call on in order to do the Follow the Leader dance party? Either unmute or put it in the chat box. Is Angie still pinned? Oh, sorry.
Hey, I was thank you for that. I just saw that. I'm like, wait a minute.
Oh, yeah, a lot of y'all pinned.
Are we good?
Can everybody see everything now?
Oh,
Okay,
thank
good.
you.
Thank you. All right, yeah, so friendliness, cooperation, joyfulness, but what's the evidence, right? So here's what's really important about this language. And let me see how orderly, we're just gonna go, 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 go. All right, so with virtues language, there's 3 parts. The first part is what, baby?
This is the stem. I honor you, I appreciate, thank you, I see. So it's just recognizing it's that connection to somebody.
It's that opening phrase. And then the second is, what's the virtue, that universal positive quality of character that you see in people? We're just focusing on acknowledgments. You can also use this language to guide and correct, right? So what's the virtue? And then finally, what's really important is to have the
evidence. It's what you saw when you saw that. So when you say about courage for getting up and dancing, when you're thinking this is the most ridiculous thing in the world to actually be doing, but you're giving evidence because it resonates with the person and they understand right away what it is and genuinely that you've seen in that person.
So in this example, it's just, I appreciate your thoughtfulness picking up dinner so we have time to relax and connect. Instead of just,
hey,
thanks for picking up dinner. Can you feel the difference, right? And then any of you all have kids still at home? Anybody have kids at home or did have kids? All right, so Lena, I see your hand. This is for you and everybody else. Have you ever said to your children or a spouse or a friend, how many times have I told you to clean up your room? Or friends, have you ever had that said to you, right? Your definition and their definition is never the same, right? So with virtues language, you actually have the success criterion built in. So think of yourself, if you're a manager, if you're a leader, right? If you're part of a team, if you're a parent, if you're working together on something, we want to have the success criteria. So here's the cleanup example, virtualized. Please be orderly and put your dirty clothes in the hamper and close your closet door. Just even saying that way takes the sting out. And when you go in and it's still a mess, instead of yelling how many times, because then you're going to be upset and they're going to be upset and nobody's going to win, right? You can ask the question, what will help you to be orderly and put your clothes in the hamper and close your closet door? Mom, is it okay if I put some music on? Sure. I'm really, really hungry. I was at school all day. Can I have a little snack? And then I promise I'll go back. Right? So when we ask the question, it engages the brain. Tap your brain, everybody, if this is making sense. Okay, beautiful. So now we have talked way too much at you. We're going to go back. Your life is flashing before your eyes. Woo, woo, nothing like changing the lesson plan. I'm going to invite somebody to, actually, this is your part. I've been running my mouth too long.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I was just to say the same thing anyway. We're going to invite someone to read the card. This is what's called a virtues card, and we'll share a little bit about what a virtues card is. To read the front of the card and the back of the card, and we can have 2 different people to do that. So, Laura, is that you? Are you raising your hand there? We'd love to have 2 volunteers. So, Laura, you are the first one to read the front of the card, and Rivka, thank you.
Beautiful. So before you all read, so as Laura and Rivka are reading the card, think about how this virtue resonates with you, because then we're going to put you into breakout rooms for just about 6 minutes so that you all can just share how this card resonates with you. All right, Laura, please go ahead.
Okay, I'm just reading the love card, right?
Yes, the card on the left.
It is. Love is at the center of our being. It is the vital force that gives us energy and direction. It connects one heart with another. Love is irresistible attraction and affection for a person, a place, an idea, or even for life itself. Love is cherishing others, treating them with tenderness. Love thrives on acceptance and appreciation. It has the power to heal. It calls us to continually hone ourselves while releasing the need to control or make someone in our image. Nurtured by commitment and seasoned by kindness, love is our greatest gift.
Thank you for your helpful service. And Rivka, I think we've done.
Yes.
you have two,
Okay, go ahead and unmute again. We'll mute ours and see if that helps.
Okay, is this better?
Yes.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, whatever
Okay,
you did,
sorry.
great.
I'm sorry. Okay, the second one on the right.
On the right, yeah.
Love is patient, love is kind, it bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. The practice of love. I allow myself to connect deeply. I commit myself wholeheartedly. I show love through acts of kindness. I accept and appreciate the ones I love. I do the work on myself that love requires. I cherish the loves of my life. I am thankful for the gift of love. It is my treasury.
Beautiful. Thank you for your helpful service reading that. So we'll just model what a virtues pick looks like, and we do this every day. So we just read that. Honey, how does love resonate with you right now?
Yeah. When I look at this, one of the parts I thought is really interesting is, we've been talking a lot about love, and everyone thinks love sometimes is about relationships with another, a significant spouse, a romantic relationship. I love the idea that it's also about another person, a place, an idea, or even life itself. Love can be something that just brings you passion and joy for whatever it is. And, I think that love is also a feeling. When you love something, even if you're doing something, it just makes you it feels good. And if you can kind of carry that with you, even to when you're another person, they're going to feel that same vibration too. So, love is, yes, it's romantic and it's your partner, but you can have that in so many different ways. So that's kind of what love means to me. It's just, it's a great feeling.
Thank you, baby. Thank you for your thoughtfulness sharing that. And I really honor your wisdom and discernment about zeroing in that it's not just an attraction or affection for people, that it really is. You can love other things, and that's going to help with your overall well-being. And I think for me, what stands out for me, I'm calling humility right now. I do the work on myself that love requires. You can tell I can get a little bit spicy. And when I don't have myself in check, we always hurt the ones we love. And he's the one who stuck with me 24/7, right, for like 3 years straight. And it's really, really important. I do a lot of work around the world holding the hearts of really teachers, mostly. And so with the compassion fatigue and the burnout, like it's heavy. And so my heart gets a little heavy sometimes. And when I'm burned out, I don't do the self-care stuff, then I react instead of responding. So today I went to the gym right before we circled up because that's where we met anyways. So that's how it's speaking to me.
And I appreciate, honey, how you're always you're caring not only for others, for yourself, and you make sure you take care of yourself as well. Because, love is also about self-care a lot of times, and taking care of yourself, which sometimes we forget to do. So that's really important that you elevated that.
Thank you, baby. Really thoughtful. So we just shared, there wasn't a discussion, and we gave each other an acknowledgement. We're going to put you in rooms with 2 or 3 other people, and just whoever birthday is closest to today, happy birthday. You can go first. You can ask the other person to go first. You'll have a total of 6 minutes.
Just connect.
Just to share how love resonates with you, one at a time, no crosstalk. And then before the next person shares, we invite you to, if you can, try out the virtues language and give a virtues acknowledgement. I'm going to put in the chat box again the link to the Padlet because the love card is there. So you can click on the link and you'll be able to find the Padlet with a bunch of resources if that's helpful. All right, so I'm gonna create the rooms. I'm gonna open them up. You can pass, you don't have to share if you don't want to. And we'll give you all about 6 minutes. Are there any questions? All right, here we go. Click on that blue little button and there we go.
Should I join the room?
Anybody need help joining a room? Lisa, or would you rather not join? You don't have to.
I clicked join and it sent me back here. So I don't know.
Oh, really? Okay. I'm gonna move you, and then I'm gonna, oh, that's really interestingly weird. All right, I'm gonna move you to another room then.
Okay.
Okay, thanks for your flexibility.
No problem.
Oh, she wasn't with me. I'm not in the room.
All right, did you want to go into a room? Can't hear you. Nope. And
I said I'm good. Sorry, I was muted.
that's okay. And I'm gonna,
Welcome back, everyone. Good to see you. So by show of hands, they want to make a new friend? I want to find somebody that they got to chat with a little bit. Yeah. Would anybody like to open their mic up and just share how that was for them? What was meaningful? Whether it was about the word love, whether it was about the experience of connecting with a fellow Terp, anything at all?
and don't share anybody's personal info though, PS. Anybody? They're like, no, that's why you're getting paid the big bucks. We're not talking, you keep rolling. Okay, that's fine.
Anybody? Going once, going twice, then we are gone.
Going chicken soup with rice. All right. See, this is why. See, this is now we're getting
Oh.
those gray bars.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Gotta
We have our
love
computer open
it.
over here too,
Gotta
so.
love it. All
Yeah,
right,
Zoom thing.
so we're gonna keep moving, and actually, you might want to get up and move. Just do a shake, 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 and I will move
Good.
everything
Everybody, maybe do a
around.
big stretch. Everybody stretch because it's been a long day.
All right, beautiful. And then running in place, running, running, running. All right, we got 18 quick.
These
more
are great
minutes
little
left.
Zoom techniques, by the way. When you're on Zoom, just doing this and moving sometimes because you can just get this, your body just gets so sedentary. At least I know mine does.
And then rubbing, rubbing, rubbing,
Yeah, that's another one.
rubbing,
Little,
rubbing, rubbing. And then see if you can feel the chi, the energy. Even if you can't, doesn't matter, you're still focused. Okay, we're gonna go super quick because you have the Padlet of all the resources. These are things not to do for that healthy relationship, all right? And so control. We're gonna exchange these 4 C's and replace them with 3 A's. Control, attempting to control another's action. Just do a little self-assessment, not if you do that. I know I do. Okay, you don't have to. Criticism, thinking and speaking negatively, focusing on flaws.
you're going
How
too
many
slow.
How many of you all do it for yourselves, right? Self-criticism. And then how many criticize your spouse live on YouTube? Contempt, judging others as worthless, and put downs, you, just kidding.
Hey, hey.
And then contention, engaging in frequent arguments and conflict. Like when we get into those patterns, it's not healthy. So we need a little humor. That's why I married Dave. Oh, just kidding.
Hey, hey. So I can't read that from here. If we want this relationship to work, we'll have to start communicating. I'll go first. Get your feet off the table. Ba-dum-bum. Maybe you can get someone to steal just the parts of your identity that annoy me.
Don't encourage him. Look, they're on your
Thank
side.
you. There you go. That's a keeper.
All right, well, that's all you got. Now we're getting back to the virtues. So we're going to replace those C's with the A's, right? Acceptance, really seeing person as a whole, each person as a whole person, noticing the virtues that the person does have, giving up the desire to change them, and instead caring about them as they are. So just take a moment and think about, is there someone in your life that could benefit from a little bit of self-acceptance? I mean, a little bit of acceptance, and it could also be yourself.
So appreciation. And we talked a little bit about the power of appreciation, acknowledging someone for something that you see in them that's good. Expressing positive regard and gratitude for another's natures or their actions, both of who they are and what they do. And just one interesting statistic, there are often, I think it was in the family, it was 10 times more negative comments or feedback from a parent to their children than positive. And the workplace was 14 times. So appreciating someone, thank you, but then really just going in deep in what it is that you're appreciating them for.
And in Daniel Pink's book, Drive, he talks about that people really want appreciation more than money. to be perfectly honest. You got to have a certain amount of money to be okay, but they want higher ups, your superiors, right? Or your managers, your bosses to appreciate what you do. Right, so be keeping that in mind.
And the last A is assertiveness. And this is a really important one that people underestimate, but asking in a respectful and peaceful way, but what is that you really need? And being clear in the boundaries and telling that person the truth of what it is and what is just.
And so let me give an example, honey.
Yeah.
So, early on, actually probably for the 15 years of our marriage, I have a routine of reverence. I do a lot of reading, get on my knees, say some prayers, all that. And Dave just used to have the perfect timing of coming into the room at that time and starting to talk to me. And it would annoy the living daylights out of me. But I never said, hey, honey, when I'm having my routine, I really just need some space. And that's all I needed to say. He got it. And now if he comes in and he sees I'm in a routine, he's super quiet or he shuts the door.
Or I turn back around and go the other way.
You run, right? So think about, is there someone that you might just want to share and say what you need in a nice way? Because you know what? They can't read our minds. And resentments are those expectations are premeditated resentments. So if we're expecting somebody to read our minds, probably not going to work. Did you want to add something, baby?
Nope.
Ready to rock and roll?
All
right.
All right. So we have a plan that we call it, or a strategy, and we call it the plan. We haven't talked a little bit about, but that card we showed you, that love card, is from an app. There's actually a set of cards called the Virtues cards. And Dara's actually showing it. You can see it now, and you can look in the Padlet. There's information. There's actually 100 different cards in this app. We developed this app, and there are some amazing different insights into the different virtues: perseverance, dignity, respect, kindness. Anyway, picking daily is a really good practice for this particular thing. The app is, this is not a marketing play. It's a free download with you get a sample deck, and to buy a full deck, it's only a $4.99 one-time fee. So we are a nonprofit. It's not about making the money, but it is an amazing app, and it's a great practice. You can double tap to see the front and the back. And it will help you do what's the number 2, which is look for the good in yourself and others. And it will help elevate those virtues that you have. As Dara said, whether it's determination versus stubbornness, or, even one day when you wake up and it's like, you know what? I have honesty, I have integrity, I have reliability, I've been resilient going through this pandemic. And it helps you understand what it looks like and how you even talk to yourself. And that's the third one, is the A. Acknowledge and appreciate yourself and others often. That is so powerful. It really will. It'll go so far in your relationships and with the voice in your head that talks to yourself sometimes as well. And the last one is notice teachable moments. And the notice teachable moments is, every moment is an opportunity to kind of learn and reflect. We're constantly on this pattern of growing. What is it that might have helped me in a certain situation? What did I do well? Reflecting after each moment. And the virtues are actually a very interesting way of looking at that and using them as a frame. It's like, you know what? I was really enthusiastic. I probably could have been a little bit more patient. What does that look like? And there are practices on the cards that help you integrate those kind of characteristics into your daily actions.
Absolutely, baby. Thank you for enthusiastically sharing that. And also on the app, there's a journal feature. So you can reflect daily for yourself.
And there's a reminders anyway, if you want to do a daily reminder on that too. So.
And you can share the love, right? So you can choose somebody that you want to send. Maybe somebody has demonstrated courage. So there's the courage card, kind of hard to see, but there's in the top right-hand corner, there is an arrow. When you click on the arrow, it brings up the share button. So you can send it in social media or an email or a text and use the language and share the card for inspiration. It's also a great way to share the love, to do a team huddle or to do a family huddle. Maybe your kids are at college or they're grown or you have family or friends all over the world. You can choose a virtue of the day, a virtue of the week to just anchor yourselves and get connected. All right, so before we maybe open it up for questions and give our contact and a final song, I know that some of you came in the chat box, you said frustrated, a little bit stressed out. let's just show some love for ourselves. And so I'm going to invite you, only if you wish, to close your eyes. You can lower your gaze. You can keep your eyes open, but put your hands on your heart and take a nice deep breath. And you can just repeat in your head or out loud as we share. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be safe. May I live in peace. Now think of somebody who you may not particularly be feeling much love towards right now, and we're going to send them love.
May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you live in peace.
And now for all of humanity,
May we all be happy. May we all be healthy. May we all be safe. May we all live in peace.
So much love and gratitude being with you all. We're not signing off. We're going to open it up for questions or comments. There is our contact if you need it. You also have, or if you want it, and you also have the Padlet. So let's stop sharing. Any questions or any comments? How y'all feeling? Maybe even one word about how, or a short phrase about how you're feeling about our time together.
Well, I think it was enlightening. I enjoyed our little group together, hearing other people's comments. But I personally really enjoyed or appreciated the trading 4 C's for the 3 A's. That made a big impact for me. Yeah.
Thank you, Laura, for your thoughts and sharing that. So it comes from the founders, who's one of our mentors, Linda Kavlin Popoff's book. It's called A Pace of Grace, Virtues for a Sustainable Life. We also do Pace of Grace retreats, but on the Padlet, I think there's a link to A Pace of Grace.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else, questions or comments?
This is Catherine.
Hello,
Hi,
Catherine.
Catherine.
Hello. I wanted to say that I really liked the, I forget what it was called, but how to show appreciation, where sometimes it's not just a, hey, thanks for doing this. It's, I appreciate or thank you for doing this because it allowed me to be able to spend more time with you or allowed us to free up time. I feel like it gives more context that's tangible for someone to really appreciate that thank you from another person. It means so much more. And then they know exactly what they did that they can continue doing in the future.
Yes, good wisdom and discernment, absolutely. And then when you also stick the virtue in there, it becomes a transferable skill, right? But that last part, it's the with them, right? What's in it for me kind of thing. And so it really takes it to a whole new level. So thank you for your thoughts.
Catherine, just one of the things that I do, and it's just an easy one, is whenever you're on with a customer service rep or something like that, and you say, hey, thank you for your generous service of time in answering my question or in, going the extra mile. They just kind of look at you because they don't think they ever hear it that way. And it's pretty amazing how powerful it is. And it just really brightens their day up. And you know what? They'll even give you better service. It's really powerful when people respond in that way. So
I also think it's great the way that you two engage one another. It's wonderful to see the level of appreciation that you show and bring back and forth.
Oh, thank you. That's really kind of you to see. We sold them, honey. This is really good. We only got to keep it together for 6 more minutes.
I can't tell you how many times she's kicked me under the table. No, just kidding. Those are the early days with the little wings.
Me too.
Thank you. Charles, thank you for your courtesy, raising your hand and waiting to be called on. Okay, that's the teacher me. Please go ahead.
I just want you to know I'm very grateful that you shared this with us this evening. I'm hopeful maybe that we might have access to the recording of this later on because it went pretty quickly and I couldn't take legible notes quickly enough.
Absolutely. Bless your purposefulness, wanting to take notes.
And Charles, also, if Lena hasn't already or us, we will share a link. And as Dara was saying earlier, there's a thing called the Padlet, which is this kind of this really cool little board that allows you to go back and you get the presentation. Yeah, Dara will show you it right now. So
okay.
And
there's some handouts in there that are really kind of cool. So hold on one second.
Absolutely. And I just put the link to the Padlet in the chat box, and we'll probably be adding some things. But so here is the evening's materials. This is the whole presentation right there. There's a link to 100 virtues. There's a virtues pick. This is the short definitions, the educator's guide, the family guide. These are not up there, but links to where you can get them, and the pace of grace. These are all videos giving you an intro to some of the strategies. And then here's an access to my book for free, to the app, to some other websites. And then these are additional Padlets. This is a well-being Padlet and then a gratitude Padlet. Just kind of threw up some different things, but please reach out if there's something that we can do to be of service if you don't find what you're looking
The
for.
Padlets are actually just a really neat way of organizing information, and there's some fun, some songs and some other things in there. So,
All right, and if
Kind of
there
other things.
aren't any more questions, well, we want to end with a song.
Angie is, I see a movement towards the camera.
And so this song is, oh, I'm
One
sorry,
sec.
Angie? No?
Yep.
Hey, Gerard, we had a Dave, first of all, it's great seeing y'all, but Gerard, we had a moment when we broke off into those rooms, and before we had a chance, let's get together afterwards. I think you're in St. Pete Beach, and we've got some things we need to talk about.
Well, we have a place in Daytona Beach Shores, right across I-4, that we spend about half the year in. So, you know, if you're isolated, we can connect.
We're all invited.
I worked at the Don Cesar, man, for years. Isla del Sol.
Okay, loving the friendliness. Put it in the chat box. Make sure that you all.
We did. Gerard, check the chat.
Put in your address. We're going to call it College Park South. We're coming down soon.
All right, and we
let me bring it
want
out.
to leave
Hold on.
you with this song, everybody. It's just a reminder of who you are. And if you need to leave right at 7, please do. So much love and gratitude to you all.
All right.
You can talk over it. Didn't mean to cut you off, but just trying to be trustworthy and reliable to end on.
Help me to be caring and loving. Help me to see the beauty in the world. With hope to succeed, I'll keep trying and trying. Help me to bring some good to the world. So help me to be the light that's in me. Be brave and let your light through. Illuminate the sky like the stars do. Be brave, shine through. Help me to be caring and loving. Help me to see. I'll keep trying, trying, trying. Help me to bring to the world. So help me to be the light that's in me.
Help me to be the light that I see deep within me, so I can shine constantly in a world that's so dark. I'm trying to open up my heart. Can you imagine this flame that can grow from one spark? I don't know what else to say, except that today I'm living my life like this light never goes away, forever gonna make my eyes illuminate. Have you ever seen the night turn into day? It's the definition of how me and you can change. Give it just a minute, we are living in an infinite design. Isn't it exquisite? Open up the heart, the jam is hidden in it. Always time to start, never time to finish. So now is the time to
be brave and let your light through. Illuminate the sky like the stars do. Be brave, shine through. Hidden within are a myriad virtues. These luminous gems of immeasurable worth. And as we educate, we alleviate all the pain of our troubled world and enable mankind to grow.
Thank you for everyone who was watching that song. We had an opportunity to work with the gentleman. His name is Ali Yousefi. He has been doing these multi-group videos since like 2014, long before, the Zoom, or the pandemic, when everyone started coming together doing these. And he's got a whole channel of these collaborations all over the world with kids, with people, and it's just beautiful. So
thank you, everybody, for your generosity of time. Lena, thank you for your generosity of service hosting us. Arms up in a V, not for Terp victory, but it could be. And give yourselves a great big hug full of love, or the person near you, or reach out and give a hug to somebody.
Hope you're all doing a little better. Andrew, hope you're having a little better of an evening today. It was a hard day, and reach out to us if you can.
Turn it back to you, Lena, to close us out.
Thank you both so much for sharing with us this evening. I'm sure everyone like myself is walking away with some helpful tips for getting through these relationships and tough times, and good ones as well. Once again, next year, hopefully we can join each other in person and we can get together and celebrate more ways that we can show our affection and love for one another. So I want to just close out and say thank you, good night, and go Terps.